Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone, Luke Rhodes. So this is the honest, in-depth review of a car that you should consider as your everyday car. It's the Mini Cooper D 1.5 turbocharged diesel. And it is a good car. A very good car. Let's hit it.
It's showtime.
Luke Rhodes. This is the Mini Cooper Diesel 2016 model and is the third generation of the Mini range. So what that means is that this third generation is now where everything, the underpinnings, the turbocharged diesel engine, the onboard computer, the computer systems, the wheels, the disc brakes, the suspension, everything is actually BMW. It's actually German, which is a good thing for Mini and a good thing for this car. But what's nice about Mini is although it has BMW computers, tech and underpinnings, the Minis are still built in Britain. They're actually built at the city of Oxford, where Mini have a dedicated plant, and so when you're buying a Mini, it is built in Britain. And Oxford is where the best universities in our country, the most talented researchers in the world, and where the best research and innovation takes place in our country, and that is where the Mini is built, and then they are shipped across the world. Mini have come a long way from where they used to be, a long way, and this car, there's a lot to like about it, and there's a lot to be positive about. So let's get into it. And first of all, you're going to love the design. So Mini has still kept their iconic look to the background with the general shape, but there's been new tweaks with this model. So even the doors are more curved, the more shaped over, the more aerodynamic, more curves going on at the front. The headlights are tidier and more compact, and everything is just better. I love the little details of the chrome running along here, which harks back to the original Mini, and you've got little touches like chrome door handles, both sides. Fuel cap is on the right hand side in Britain, and then even little touches, chrome rear light cluster, even though it's a standard halogen unit, little touches where the shape's been improved, the reflectors inside have been improved, and it's just a better looking car overall. It's got that more presence, the body is more grounded, and everything just blends together a lot better, from the headlight to the front headlight, and it's just a nice looking design. It's a bit different as well, and a bit more quirky, but it still keeps to the original Mini design but modern interpretation of it. And even love that also you can have different color combinations, where this one has the white roof. It has effectively a spoiler built inside, which is quite good, and the rubber feels quality, feels very sturdy. The paint, this particular Mini is the exclusive model, so it's got a Mindra 3 series, it's a very dark blue, but the blue does look very good in the flash, and the metallic looks good as well. Little updates for the 3rd generation, like Mini in the headlight unit, even though it's a standard halogen bulb and headlight unit, and little touches, like even the bonnet has like this bump here that harks back to the original Minis but modern. And it's a good looking car when you look at it, when you can also have the different color combinations as well. It looks good. It looks prestigious. It looks expensive. And that plastic there is because in our country, or in this country, we have a lot of A and B roads. The idea is that they take up all the scratches to try and protect the rest of the paintwork.
Cool.
Which is pretty smart, really. It's a good looking car. No matter what angle you're looking at, it's just a good looking car. Very good looking. Even the little things like the hark back to the original Minis with that. It's a good looking car. Big wide windscreen, quite square windows, which is good for visibility, but they're quite large panels. And you notice that it's like, reminds you of like a greenhouse where everything has a proper shape to it, and it's very much kind of what's going on here. Silver wheels. I think the 3rd generation is better looking than the 2nd, and is a bit more grown up, more modern, and a better looking Mini overall. This Mini, this one was very lucky. This has been given the convenience upgrade. So what that means is that you go to locker, and then let's just say you need to open the boot. Ha! Look at that! So when you approach your Mini, this is very useful. When you approach your Mini after you're shopping or need to get something into the boot, the rest of the doors stay locked, but the boot unlocks for you the moment the key approaches the Mini, which is really good. And also lock function, boot unlock function. Also, this has as part of the convenience option, you can lock your Mini by pressing this button here. Lock it, and then unlock it. So you don't need to go to your key to unlock your Mini. Just press the button, lock it, unlock it. Job done. Just works. Easy going. And then lock it, walk away. That easy. So that convenience locking is quite useful, and also you can program features into your Mini Cooper D. So you can, I believe it's that one, holding this button and all the windows. Hold the button in and all the windows go back up. How wicked is that? Oh, and it's also done that for some reason. Don't ask me why. When you unlock her, mirrors go back to their original position. What a smart car. It is a very, very good car. To open the fuel cap is pretty easy. You just open it just like that, and then close it just like that. Disc brakes front. Disc brakes rear. with rear parking sensors, and love the little chrome outlet there for the fog light. Very cool. And it's just a cute looking car. From every angle, it's just a nice looking car. The way the doors as well are curved the way they are, it looks good. This is a 3-cylinder twin scroll turbo. So what that means is that you have a turbine, and then there are different channels built into the turbo, and the turbine will change depending on what the engine's demanding. So one channel is, if you like, for lower speeds, which gives the engine more throttle response, more grunt, gives it more power. And then a second channel for when you're at higher speeds and the channel generates the power differently. So then what that translates to you is you still have an engine that's very responsive and gives you throttle instantly and acceleration instantly. It's a very interesting technology, and it's now been introduced to a BMW. So this is effectively a BMW 1.5 diesel twin scroll turbo, turbocharged, and it's a wicked engine. This is an awesome engine. It's also so efficient. If you buy a Mini Cooper D with the 1.5 turbocharged diesel engine, it's so efficient, it's not emitting any emissions, and it's literally free to tax, which is wicked. Power wise, this is producing 114 horsepower and nearly 300 newton meters of torque from a 3-cylinder turbo. It means this engine is very flexible and is very low revving. It never really goes past 3000 RPM. It stays at about 2000 RPM a lot of the time. And we're getting at the moment on average 52 mpg, 54 mpg on average. Wow, that's incredibly efficient. But this BMW giving Mini their engines and computers doesn't change that Mini build their cars at Oxford. They're still built in Britain and they're shipped around the world from Britain, made in Oxford. So this is still built in Britain, but it's got all the German knowledge, technology, engines and lessons. And this engine is incredibly reliable. Nothing has gone wrong with it. It's done over 34,000 miles and still going strong. This takes 0 W30 engine oil. Long life. Very important. This turbocharged engines do give that engine oil quite a beating. But fuel injected, very efficient, very efficient, very cheap to run on fuel. Wicked. And to think that they've compacted this 3-cylinder turbocharged twin scroll diesel and an intercooler and an aircon system. How do they do it in such a small space? It's absolutely incredible. To shut the bonnet, it's pretty easy. Just do that, just like a BMW, and that's the engine. So yeah, very wicked engine, very good engine, and one of the last cars, last British brands to be built in Britain, but with all the German awesomeness. All German engines, BMW awesomeness, BMW technology, and a Mini body, and Mini styling, and Mini take on things with the interior, and those little lovely chrome switches. So how much does this cost to insure? Depending on no years, no claims, but normally Well, this cost us about £270 to insure, which is, in today's world, that's cheap. You find it hard to get good insurance for £270. You'd have to spend a lot more. 0 to tax, road tax, so to road tax is free. Brilliant. That's very useful. It saves you money. Love the little touches like the chrome grille there, chrome bottom as well. It's such a good car. It's lovely to drive. 5-door, perfect. So not only can you drive the Mini, but you know, if you're lucky enough in this world to have a girlfriend or a wife that loves you and is there for you, you can also take her in your Mini and go for nice drives together, or go where you need to be together, and just have a really nice car to drive in. Styling is good. The combination of styling is good. This has been a great car. This has been very good. Very good indeed. Automatic wipers. Everything's been good about it. Space is good. Engine's fantastic. It's so cheap to run. And auto box as well. So this is the Mini Cooper T on the dual carriageway, and she is very well behaved. Very well behaved indeed. Thanks to that combination of the auto box and being a turbocharged 1.5 litre diesel, you can just step into the second lane easily. You can go for overtakes quite easily because you're not having to think about gears. So you can just choose, yep, I'm going to go and overtake that car, and just do it. Just do it, don't think about it, you just do it. And the auto box does a very good job of, hey, I need some acceleration for an overtake. You're done, which is really useful. And overtaking this jazz, and we're done. That's how easy an overtake is in this Mini Cooper D. The cabin is really, really well insulated. So we're at 70 miles an hour, and we could all just, settle down, but we're not allowed to, apparently. Okay. So 70 miles an hour, and the cabin's actually quite quiet. The cabin's really well insulated, which is wicked, considering this is just a small car, and even the vibrations from the turbocharged diesel engine is minimal. You don't notice it, you really don't. Wind noise is very little. I'm not having to raise my voice, this is just my normal talking voice, and it's very good, very comfortable. The suspension's doing a very good job of dampening down the bumps and smoothing them out, so we're getting quite a comfortable ride even though we're in a small 5-door car by today's standards. You don't hear the engine at all. It is very well dampened down, which is brilliant. And also, the audio system is fairly clear to hear. The joys of an auto, you don't even think about it, you just do it. And the audio system is fairly clear at 70, and it's just a very comfortable place to be. Here's an example for you. That's about medium level, and that's fairly clear. Yeah, that's pretty clear. Audio processing is very good. Very good. It's nice to be in a small car where you actually feel quite comfortable. And notice that the steering as well isn't twitching around. This is an electronic rack and pinion steering wheel, so no hydraulic feeling, not hydraulic system. But for an electronic system, gotta say, it's actually pretty confidence inspiring. Like, you're getting pretty good tactile feel from what the wheels are doing, and you feel like you can very much just cruise. We can cruise very easily in this, do well over 150 miles in actual pretty much comfort. And notice that I haven't needed to go into the slow lane. I'm just overtaking with ease. I'm just comfortably overtaking and not having to think about it, which is pretty good. And the steering is precise, it's very stable. You feel like you can literally just hold the steering wheel with one hand comfortably, or have your right hand where it is but have your bottom hand just there, which is pretty good for an electronic system. That's pretty good going when you need to overtake. Not much input required in the steering wheel. So the steering is comfortable. Love the cutouts as well in the steering wheel where your thumbs are, so you can just relax, but when you want to get a move on, you can put your thumbs into the steering wheel, super cut, and actually just go for quite a fast drive, which is pretty interesting, really. And yeah, this is just a nice place to be. You got pretty good visibility all around. The mirrors and spot on where it should be. Mirrors, although they've got that mini hark back, they look good. You get quite a bit of information from the mirrors, you really do. You get quite a bit of information, left and right. And being the design that it is, you just got lots of visibility. You don't have to think about it. And the back window is actually quite a good size, so you can see what's going on behind you without always, which is pretty good. So big, decent sized rear window, which is pretty good. And as well, instruments and controls. So your fuel gauge is here, and pretty easy to read. The colour as well is very much BMW. This colour is very neutral but easy to read colour in both daylight and night, which is why BMW chose that Pacific amber like colour, which is pretty interesting. The speedo though, the letters are small, so you don't get a huge, it doesn't feel like you get a huge amount of information from them anyways.
Made a note in my diary on the way here. Simply says, bugger.
It would be nicer if the speedo was bigger, because they are small and it does take not all the time, but it takes a few seconds to read the speedo before you know, okay, this is the same, I'm now at 53, I'm 55. It's just one of those weird oddities. A rev counter though is very easy to read, but being an auto, you're not going to look at it very much. Again, the steering is confidence inspiring, and this is where we're now going to get into the small roads, and look at that for steering. So I'm very much got my thumbs on steering, and I felt very confidence inspired. I felt very stable. Bear in mind that this is not a Cooper Works, it's not an S model, so that's pretty impressive when you think about it, really. And steering is light, easy to use. You feel like you know exactly what it's doing, and there's no free play in it. So you just feel like you're steering. When you point it in a particular direction, that's where it's going to go. It's just nice and easy. So yeah, very well behaved. And the steering is quick to react. So just to show you, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna go there. It's very quick, which is nice, especially when you're in that slower traffic or you're driving through town. Controls, very simple, very easy to use on the go. What you have on the steering wheel is just the controls that you need. This at the moment, the the Mini, the Mini is doing a very good job at ironing out this road, which is quite bumpy. And all we have here is McPherson struts and springs, but they're very well tuned. You can tell, because not only is the Mini doing a good job of ironing out the road, all the bumps on the road, but also I feel quite confident with the steering. I feel like I can just push on. I can take this corner quite tight, and then I can push on some more, and that's kind of pretty cool. That's the sort of steering you'd expect from a high performance model, not necessarily a standard Mini, a standard Mini Cooper. And again, steering is confidence inspiring. It feels good on these B&A roads. It's a van, so I don't want to feel like I'm pressuring the van, because the van's just bloody huge. Bloody huge. Stop start, quick to respond, quick to react. No problems with the stop start at all. The auto box is getting the gearing perfect. No complaints about the gearbox. The gearbox is wonderful. It chooses the gears when you want them. It chooses the gears well. It gets them right every time. It gives you that best, and it also chooses the gearing for economy. Oh, so easy to see. So easy to see behind you, because the mirrors are where they are. The windows are quite square shaped, so you get a pretty good visibility, and also the windows are quite big, and which is pretty good. Which is pretty good going, really. Even here. Whoa, okay, let's go in this corner. Are you ready to go in this corner? Yeah! Woo! It just feels pretty. The steering just feels so accurate. I mean, again, this is an electronic unit, which you wouldn't expect from an electronic unit, but it's actually quite confidence inspiring. Oh yeah. So you just push on. Just push on with the steering. It's really goddamn accurate. It's confidence inspiring. It's stable. It's just so good. It's just so good. And this is not a Cooper. This is not a Cooper Works, model. And I'll say we're making pretty good progress down this road. Which is pretty good. But the only negative is that speedo. That speedo is because of the way the numbers are grouped. So you have a 20, 40, 60 and an 80, when the speed limits in our country are more like 30, 50, 60, 70. And because of our speed limits in our country, you're always hunting for where is your 30 limit, where's your 30, where's your 50, where's your 60. But instead the speedo here is calculated in 20, 40, 60. What's also interesting is the middle of the speedo. The middle of the speedo is 80. And you would go, why does that matter? It matters because that's the cruising speed. What I've learned about cars is that where the speedo is, bang in the centre, or where it is 12 o'clock, is your cruising speed. So that's pretty interesting, really. But yeah, even in these lanes, you can feel like the steering, you could just, flick the steering left and right, and it is really accurate, and you can have a good idea of what the wheels are doing, which is quite hard to gauge from an electronic steering wheel. So kudos to Mini there. with BMW steering and BMW technology and suspension. It's doing a very good job. This road is dangerous in the winter. It's dangerous in the winter, I tell you, because if this gets frosty, it's quite slippy. And the steering is leather and is beautifully weighted. Like, it's got a really good weight to it. So you don't feel like the steering wheel is too light, but it's also not too heavy. I love the cutouts here. Love the leather stitching. It's not the most supple leather, though. It's not the most supple leather. It's kind of like... It's kind of like... It's kind of like... It's not thick. It's not a thick, like a thick bolstered leather steering wheel. It's kind of like leather but thin. That's what it is. But it's still comfortable. It's got a soft touch to it, premium finish to it, which is pretty good. Oh fuck me, that's a van. And it's just nice. It's just a nice place to be. Nice place to drive, and the air conditioning, the air controls, the vents pointing directly at you. They're lovely shape. The computer is really fast to get the cabin to the temperature you want it to be, which is pretty good, and you feel very comfortable on these sort of roads where it's just nice and smooth. Then when you go and hustle on, get your thumbs in the right place, and you can just do it. Holy crap! And because you get auto box, you don't have to think about it. Look at these roads. Look at them. The steering is just awesome. It's really good. So, steering is very comfortable when you're cruising along. And it's also quite quick when you want to get a move on, which is wonderful. Good visibility all round. Steering, very good. Information system is easy to use. Controls are easy to get to. And this cabin feels quite light and quite spacious. And the information on the Mini equivalent to the iDrive, which is actually an iDrive system but Mini badged, you can read it. The easy to use, text is clear, big screen as well. This one is the upgraded display, so you have massive, great big computer system there, which is pretty good. Controls, you also have cruise control, and what I've learned about the cruise control, once I get past this car, is pretty interesting. You've got a volume up and down on the right hand side. Up, I'm not sure what up does. Oh, up, oh, you get to give it different commands or some shit. Oh, no way. So you get to change the music. Is that right? Alright, and then you go okay. Maybe? Oh god, it does it! It really does it! Wow! Okay, so these up and down controls are for when you're playing music. You can go up a track or down a track and then click OK and it will do it. It will go up and down. Wow, I didn't know that happened. Wow, that's quite interesting. And it's just really comfortable when you're on these A and B roads. You feel very stable. You feel like if you want to go faster, you can go faster. You can push on. You can be quite quick. And remember, this is not a Cooper Works. This is just the standard Mini. So they've really come on compared to the first generation models and the second generation models. You feel like you can get into a lot of places with a car like this because it's small by modern standards. It's never going to be like the original Minis, like how small the original Minis used to be. But as a modern car, you can get into quite a lot of parking spaces. You feel like this is really good for getting into gaps as well, getting into those smaller gaps that you don't know, getting into those smaller gaps, which is quite interesting. And I'll show you exactly what I mean later on. Throttle is light. Throttle is light. It's quite quick to respond, and is just really well balanced. So you feel like you can. The throttle is very comfortable, but then when you want to get a move on, you just press on the throttle and you go on your way. You can be quite quick in this car, and you can see because this is a small car, you can get into traffic quite easily. Just to show you how easy this Mini is to park, let's go and find somewhere to park. So steering again, very light, easy to move around, pretty precise. And then take the space. Fucking flicked it. Reverse, easy to select, and thanks to the electronic steering, easy to turn the steering wheel, easy to flick it over. And we're very lucky because this one has not only reversing sensors, but also rear camera. That's how easy this is to park, and is a pleasure at low speed thanks to the auto box, light steering, and that very smooth, surprisingly smooth 3-cylinder turbocharged diesel. So quiet in this cabin, so quiet. That's what's incredible. The cabin is absolutely, for a small car, this is not only quiet, but it's just an absolute pleasure. Visibility is great all round, and you can comfortably be in traffic like this. Notice that the steering wheel is just, it's not twitchy, it's just perfect. Entertainment system, easy to use while on the move because it's BMW derived, BMW iDrive system, but in a mini skin. So you have lots of different controls, but they're fairly easy to get to. And you've got things like menu, you've got like Bluetooth. I think that's the OK button, I think. Okay. Oh yeah, no, that's the menu button. Okay. So the iDrive system, what's weird though about this particular one is that the buttons, there's a sensor one for the menu, but then you can't really feel what the other buttons do. So you kind of have to guess. Oh, that's nav. Whoa! I'm in Negadishi. I'm in Negadishi. Something like that. And then, yeah, iDrive system is as simple as on the move. You've got your settings, vehicle information, mini connected drive, contacts from your phone, and it's just very easy to use compared to a lot of other systems out there. It's the iDrive system that gets it right every time. And in the traffic as well, the brakes are not too grabby. The brakes are surprisingly powerful on this Mini. They are BMW discs and pads, but with a Mini badge behind them. Look at that, the camera's not even in use. And the engine pickup is instant. Like, throttle response is instant, which is really quite nice, really. This is just a nice place to be. The cabin is airy for a small car. You feel like you've got quite a bit of space, and you still have that Mini characteristic where you've got quite a tall headlining, or quite a tall roof, and you got all this airy space. It's just such a nice place to be. The controls are easy to get to. The controls are easy to find. They are illuminated in that same orange colour for the main dials below the main entertainment screen, where you could control the climate control, set your temperature. What's nice is that when you make changes to the temperature, is it's not like so at the moment we're at 20. It's not like, oh, would you like 20.5? When you change the temperature, it changes to 21. And look how the screen interacts as well. So if I increase the heat, the screen goes to like this side goes to a red colour, and if I want colder, I get like a... Oh, look at that, it's interactive. The lights change depending on where the temperature is. That's fascinating. Oh, it's just a fascinating car, this. The rear view mirror is also auto dimming, which is great. And yeah, you just feel very comfortable in this car. You feel like you do a fair bit of distance in this car in comfort. The seats are at the moment very well bolstered, considering this is not a Cooper Works. The seats are very well padded. There's quite a lot of padding to them. This one's leather as well with Piper stitching, and the leather is supple. It's got that Germanic, you know, BMW, Mercedes feel. It's very plush, it's very soft, and you feel like there's quite decent back support for you. The bolstering is actually fairly good, and you feel like the seat's doing a fairly good job of hugging around you. It's not going to be to the level of, say, a Mini Cooper Works, where the seat is a lot more sporty, a lot more bolstered than this. But for a standard Mini, gotta say, it's very hard to fault these seats. It's very hard to fault them. I can't give you anything bad. The seats are really well bolstered, plenty of padding. I feel very comfortable right now. We've driven some miles already, and I feel very comfortable. I could drive to Birmingham. That's how comfortable these seats are. And you got a headrest, which again, leather, so supple and soft. And leather does make a difference. This is stop-start traffic, and the Mini is very well behaved. Very well. The brakes are progressive. They are a little grabby. But they're progressive for what they are. And they are powerful, though. I'm just coming to a stop right now, and all I did was just touch the brakes. Also, one of the nice things about this BMW engine and gearbox is you would literally put her into drive, and then the engine's rolling forward when you're not off the brakes. And in stop-start traffic, that's actually quite useful, because literally letting go of the brake means you're rolling forward. And when you're in traffic like this, where you're only moving a little tiny bit, it helps you keep your momentum, keep you making progress through the traffic. Because there are some engine setups where the gearbox is auto, but if you let go of the brake, you still have to touch the throttle to go forward, which is annoying in slow traffic like this. So praise to Mini for going for this setup, where the engine's always wanting to go forward the moment you let go of the brake, which is really useful in this traffic. So, as we come into the slip road, the steering is so precise. There's a shame that speedo, the numbers are really close together and they're just not very big. So you're more relying on the LCD readout of your speed than you are looking at the actual speedo. So, as we're going round the roundabout, again, the steering just feels so confidence-inspiring. This 1.5 turbo, look at that. Not even trying, and we're already ready to overtake coming out of slip road. That's how capable this engine is, which is just fascinating. Go on, get past me. Go on. And then when you need to get a move on, put your foot down. Ha! And we already slipped into the traffic, which is quite heavy, as you're seeing.
Excellent!
You can just stay here with the traffic, and then when you need a bit of pickup, the gearbox is spot on. It knew exactly that it needed to change down a gear to give you that instant speed, and then here we are. MPG, well, this one has been absolutely amazing on MPG. On a long run, more like 74 MPG. This is... what? How? How? Oh god. So, cruise control, activate it with the plus button to increase your speed, or if you hold the button in more, she will continuously increase your speed. If you hold the minus down, she will continuously reduce your speed. If you put minus up, resume your speed. It works. Although I will say the plus and the minus are a little bit sensitive. They are a little bit sensitive. They really are. You can limit your cruise control, so you can limit to, hey, I want the speed to only ever be 68, or turn it off. Or you can go, hey, resume my cruise control where I had it, and it will resume your cruise control where you had it. Ha! It's a pause. And it works. It's not quite as intuitive as a BMW though, which is weird. It's a little bit. But the plastics have a nice feel to them, they have a nice sensation. So, let's go into the interior. This is the 5-door model, which we're very lucky to have today. And this is the door card. You've got a speaker built into each door card. Love the little touches here, where the door handle has same colour as the leather, which is perfect. You've even got pockets for small bottles of drink and anything that your passengers might want. Also electronic windows, so they can open the windows if they'd like to. And this is generally the amount of space that you get. It is a small gap to get into, but then when you're here, it's actually quite comfortable. The seat is a bit like a bench. You've got good support behind you, and you've got quite a bit of leg room down here as well. So you're able to get your feet in and you're not being pushed up against the seat. Also, interesting touch, where you have like a cubby hole here where you can put whatever it is you want in there. Also, another useful feature, drink holder for your passenger, which is always pretty useful. And a lot of headroom as well. You've got quite a lot of headroom. You do also have a rear light that you can activate at night if you just need a bit of light in for the passengers. And they're also LED, and the LEDs are actually facing towards the rear passengers. So you also got grab handles if you need them. You've got a hook for a jacket or a shirt if you needed to hook up a shirt. But it's a comfortable place to be for rear passengers on a small car. You can't really complain. I love the pipe stitching as well here, and the leather is so soft. It feels really nice. Very good. Also, on this model, the electronic window, if you pull the toggle all the way back, the window will come down all the way, automatically. And same if you push the toggle down. Your door handle is this, and that is, again, a hark back to the original Mini. And, again, love the little touches where it's chrome, and it's different. It's different and funky. And, as well, it's got a good action to it, a good feel to it. You can't knock it. It feels pretty good. The passenger gets this really interesting design where it's piano black that runs across the door. Also, color leather coded. Grab handle color coded to the leather, which is brilliant. Also, speaker built in. And your passenger also has a little cubby hole for drinks, anything you need to put in there, like leads. And you also have electronic mirrors for the same function, where you can electronic windows, where you can push a toggle all the way down for it to go down automatically, all the way up to go up automatically. And you've got a generous amount of space, so it's quite easy to get inside. and this is what you're greeted to. And it's quite an airy place to be. Do you feel like you're not constricted? You're not being squeezed in. You don't feel claustrophobic. And love the little details here where the leather is again color coded here. You get your glove box as well. The cooling fans, standard design, but they are spot on in how they face you and cool you down, which is because in this country it's either very, very cold or all of a sudden it's very, very warm. So you very well thought out design here by Mini, really well thought out, and plenty of leg room. Also at night there's an LED down there for the passenger, which is really, really good. And also the door handles illuminate as well, like a blue LED, which is good. Also cup holder for your passenger, good idea. And then you got your visors, you got a mirror built in here, and you've got a grab handle as well. Notice there's no hook on this one, and you feel quite airy. It's a nice place to be, and it's just a nice place to be. Can't knock it. Seat is well bolstered. It feels comfortable. Headrest is comfortable. The bolster again is good on both sides. Leather soft, leather supple. Love the stitching as well that you can see on the leather. The piping, very smart by Mini. And it's just a nice place to be, really. And for the driver, same story. Love the black design here, where the way the plastic swoops off the left, it's very, very stylish. It's pretty interesting. Again, color-coded door handle, big speaker as well. That's your door, and your door handle is chrome. But also on the driver's side, this is where you control the central locking. So either lock to lock the car, or unlock it. That's how you unlock. And then you've also got electronic mirrors that you can adjust here. And you also have full control over the electric windows. And you have a toggle here between adjusting the left or the right mirror. And that button, I believe, brings the mirrors in, maybe? Possibly. And then you've got your cubbyhole space. Mini. Again, lovely blue colour. This particular model did not get electronic adjustable seats. It's all manual, but then that's probably reserved for the Mini Cooper Works, which is the high performance model where you get a lot more options as standard. And the leather, also you can, but I've also got an extra piece here on the leather for bolstering your legs on a long journey, which is just a nice touch, really. It's just a nice touch. Automatic headlights with manual control, and also fog lights, and headlight adjustment. Oh, you can also set how long you want the headlights to stay on for. Interesting. So this is where you are, and on the steering wheel it feels really good. Leather, which is brilliant, with black insert here. You got a good position for your thumbs to go into when you want to go faster, but also the steering is well balanced. It's beautifully weighted, and the leather, it's not very thick, but it is soft, and it does feel good in the hands. And you also have more controls. You have volume controls, so volume up, volume down. You can also select a track while you're on the move and press OK and select the next track. Also make a phone call. Also got voice activation, and then on the left is your cruise control. Your cruise control is quite interesting. So a plus button increases your speed with cruise control on, but if you push the button even more, then the engine keeps accelerating until you press the minus button to say don't keep increasing speed. But then you also have the button here to reduce speed or continuously reduce speed. You can limit your speed by the limit button when using cruise control, and you can also use the resume cruise control function there. So, and the controls, good tactile feel, they feel pretty good. So controls are really good. The cabin is quite airy. You feel very comfortable and well bolstered by the seat. This is a nice place to be. Can't knock it. So, the speedo, the only negative is the speedo. Because you notice that the speedo, the numbers are small and not very big. It would be nice if the numbers were bigger. Notice that the cruising speed of this Mini is 80 miles an hour. Rev counter. Vents are really well positioned. And then you have a handbrake, which is quite good, quite strong. I would trust it. And being the third generation Mini, this model came with Mini's equivalent to the iDrive. So this is a BMW system. This is BMW iDrive with a mini styling over it. And the iDrive is pretty useful. You've got menu, media. That's your on-off button. Also, this model comes with heated seats with multiple modes from warm to really warm to really hot. And BMW stroke Mini heated seats are strong. And then this is what you get. You got automatic climate control, which is perfect. 20 and 21, 22, 23, which is better, because there are cars where when you change to what temperature you would like, it does it in little increments, whereas this is just, hey, do you want it 21, 22, 23? It's dead easy. And what's interesting is how the display reacts to what temperature you like. That's really interesting. The numbers are very clear to read, and the orange accent is because that colour is the easiest colour to read at night or during the day, and that again is a BMW trait. You can turn the stop start on and off, but I find that it works really well. Don't have to bother. That's your air conditioning button, which you can leave on all the time. This is where you can close the vents so that you only allow air coming in from the car rather than air coming in from the outside, if that makes sense. And then you got this one, which is effectively a BMW iDrive system, but with a mini skin to it, which is quite interesting. Love this. This is really funky, and I love how the colours react to what's happening on the screen. And then that's your volume control, that's your on-off button. You've got mode buttons, that's just change tracks. This is where you can set radio stations. Well, look at that, it's already responding. And then in this system, you've got things like settings. So you can choose modes like automatically lock my car, lock car after driving away. You can change the light settings, ambient light on, interior light, into brightness. Oh my god, welcome light. Holy crap. And then climate control. Oh my god, you got like different buttons here. You got a speed button. Don't know what that does. Warning. God, so many settings you can control the sound system. You can control the display settings, you can control brightness at night. So it's got a whole lot of functionality, and Bluetooth built in, which is always useful. And then vehicle information, so you can check your oil level, trip computer. There's a lot you can do with this system. tire pressure monitoring system. Oh my god, you could just go on and on. You've got media, so your media for your sound system, which is pretty interesting. So you can go to speakers, you can raise the volume, you can increase the volume. It's a really smart system, and you do have navigation built inside. So there's a lot of functionality that you have. You got a hazard here, fuel gauge is here, and the reason why it's an ambient light is, again, that's a BMW trait, because ambient light is the easy light to read. That's your full marker, that's your halfway, that's when you're nearly empty. And this control system, really easy to use, love it. Brilliant system, BMW iDrive, but with a mini skin over it, and it just works. Also, you can, kid you not, you can pull these toggles and it will change the colours on here. if that's something, oh my god, you can have green, you can have blue, you can have deep blue, you can have purple, you can have deep purple, you can have red. Wow, would you like some red? Wow. And then you've got toggles like your map light, interior lights, and the reason why it's like this, where you get these chrome pieces here, these chrome on-off switches, it reminds you of the 60s. It reminds you of original Minis, where they had this. They had this. And this is a hark back to the past, where this is how parts were engineered. They weren't so much buttons, and then a button would be this, would be something like this. It would be a toggle, on off, but in a chrome style with a little LED behind it, to remind you of the past, to remind you of those iconic Minis. And the same here, again, that's donated to the past. That's for a reminder of the iconic Minis of the past, but with modern, but in a modern Mini. It's just, and LED lights as well. LED. Also, driver's got a rear view, sun blinds, but also a mirror built in with LED lights facing towards you. And love the colour of this as well. It's a fibre, like a fabric, but it's a very airy place to be. The vents are spot on. This one is an auto. The autos are very sought after. It's a 6-speed unit, and it's pretty easy going. Leather as well, so it feels really good. You got a switch here that you got to pull, and then you can change the gearing to dry, reverse, neutral, and park. You can go manual mode if you want to, but leave it in on auto. And the auto box is wonderful. It gets gears right every time. It picks the gears for you. It gets it right. As well, your reversing camera is in this massive display, so you can get a reversing camera. How awesome is that? Reversing camera and rear sensors. And with the rear, with the camera, you have these guides that you can turn off and on. Lighting, you've got all these different options, and this one has the upgraded display. So you've got a widescreen here. The standard Mini Coopers, if they haven't had this upgrade, would have like a bar here and a bar there, and your screen would be smaller. So really well thought out, beautiful display. The auto box is fantastic. It picks gears right every time, and they're very sought after, because this is the gearbox that you gotta have. This is perfect. It makes you focus on your driving more. You don't have to worry about gears. It's quite a responsive gearbox. It's quite quick, and makes driving makes driving better. It makes driving really nice, because you don't have to worry about a gearbox. The gearbox does all the changes for you and gets it right every time, and changes down when you need it to change down quickly, and responds quickly. Really sought after. The ones with the auto box, like this one, they go for a couple of £1,000 more secondhand, because this is so desirable, and it makes such a difference to your driving, not only in comfort, but also when you want to get a move on, when you want to go fast, or just cruising, this makes everything better, this auto box. And it's again BMW Auto, but with a mini skin. Wonderful. The auto is what you want. Don't go for anything else but the auto. And yeah, on off button. It's just a wonderful place to be, this is. Oh, I just gotta get to my... Oh! Didn't need to touch the key. Didn't need to touch the key. And also, again, well done Mini, and keyless entry, keyless start. Let's fire up. Woo! And also this Mini makes some really funny noises where if you go into park mode, okay, just show you, get reverse mode. It's just one of those weird things. Look at that. Just to let you know you're reversing. Okay. As far as the seat goes, the adjustability you have is these manual wrenches. That one for lifting the seat up or down, that one for tilt adjustment, and then that one to bring the seat forward or backwards. And more nice touches where the materials are fairly soft. This plastic's quite soft. The buttons all have rubber toggles, which is good. These feel nice and smooth. It feels nice to hold on to. And then that's your indicator up and down. That's your BC button where you can change the info on the LCD screen. Flash your forwards. Sorry, to flash your main beam. And then you've got auto wipers, different sensitivity settings, clean the windscreen, and all sorts of different functions. This little touches as well, which is when you press on the brake pedal, the Mini illuminates the on-off button, and which is like again a hark back to the original Mini with the flip up or down start button. Very cool. So on the Mini, standard Mini Cooper D, you have 4 speakers. Is the sound system good? No. Sound system is okay. That's all it is. It's okay. And that's a shame. Even at maximum volume, it's okay. The speakers themselves, although there's 4, they're not powerful. And because they're not powerful, they cannot produce a powerful bass and a powerful sound. Although the digital processing is very good. So what Luke Christ means by that is you don't get the distortion when the volume's at maximum level. Sounds generally still sound crisp and clear, just not very loud. It's a problem with standard cars. They come with standard speakers. Yeah. Turbocharged 1.5 diesel. Diesels are known for making a lot of clattery noises. This is the quietest diesel engine Luke Wright has ever met, and the only way you can tell this is a diesel is from outside the Mini, but it's not too noisy. But inside the cabin, you can barely tell this is a diesel. It's the sound is so well dampened, but also this is a very efficient engine, and BMW have now had 3 generations of turbocharging engines to know how to build them a lot better and how to make them a lot more reliable, but also more efficient and quiet. And BMW have done an amazing job here, but with a Mini badge. Controls for locking the doors and unlocking the doors inside the Mini is these 2 buttons on the driver's side, and well built in by Mini, very well thought out. Even the handbrake, easy, nice detail there by Mini. The chrome dot there, very reminiscent of original Minis, so hark back to the original Mini. And the chrome detail there as well. iDrive system, you do have a where you can write letters and numbers right there with the touchpad. But back is behind the dial. An option is to the right of the dial, back is to the left, and menu is... What's nice is the fact that the menu button is different from the rest of the buttons. So you get a good idea, oh yeah, that's the menu button. And then good luck trying to figure out the rest of it. But at least you know, you can go to menu, you can go straight back to the menu if you don't know what you're doing. So that's just one of those convenience things, you know. So drive, let's pull the lever back and hold in the, there's a click button on the lever that you hold and you pull back, and then yeah, you just, oh yeah, don't forget handbrake. It does alert you if the handbrake's on with a warning triangle. But yeah, this is a wonderful car to drive for everyday sort of stuff. For everyday driving, to get into your workplace, to heading home, to going to the shopping, you know, going shopping, going to see some motorcycles, for so many different things, and being so amazing on fuel. This is a very cheap car to run. It really is a cheap car to run. And it's nice, all the details like the LED lights, auto stop start, which I would always stick to, because why would you not stick to the auto stop start? Just stick to that, you might as well, why wouldn't you? Because the stop start is really quick. The way the engine just engages really quickly, turns itself on, and then it's just immediately going forward, which is what you want. Which is what you want, really. And the automatic stop start, just trying to save you a little bit of fuel here and there. Even if the stop start means you get an extra half a mile of fuel, it's a half a mile that you didn't have before. That's the way to look at it. And auto box means if you need to get out for a junction quickly, you just get out of a junction quickly. Do you know what I mean? And the gearbox just knows where to go. You really can gain on cars surprisingly quickly, thanks to being a twin scroll turbo and, you know, twin scroll turbo, twin scroll, just very, very good. I suspect we can break this up into several videos. So, you know, if you need to accelerate, and gearbox just knows exactly what to do, and it steps up it changes down a gear when you need it. But you've got to be a bit picky with your overtakes, because, you know, 114 horsepower means that, yeah, you've got to rev her out if you're going to overtake. But luckily you have auto box, so you don't have to think about those things, you just do them. This Mini does so many things right. It's got good amount of space, the engine is wonderful, the engine's got plenty of power and torque, and it's very nice to drive. Auto, don't need to worry about gears, the gearbox does all the decision making for you, which is awesome. Boot is fairly big for a small car, so just to show you, you can get a pretty decent amount of shopping in there, overnight bags, whatever else you need, and that's a pretty good size. You can get a lot in there. Hydraulic struts, and pretty easy to shut. Okay. If you're looking for a car that's very cheap to run, very cheap on fuel, 0 to road tax, a wonderful engine, a reliable engine, really beautiful build quality, and tried and tested. Third generation Mini Cooper third generation Mini Cooper from 2016 is a brilliant choice for an everyday car that's wonderful to drive and does everything you need a car to do, with decent space and a car that looks good and makes you look good. What a car. Well done, Mini. You've done very well here, and thumbs up to BMW for making Mini build such a wonderful car, starting from the third generation. Mini went from, using Peugeot engines to then they went to the second generation where they started using BMW engines and electronics, and it's only now the third gen where BMW have learned all the problems and fixed all the issues and problems of their previous engines and is now knocking out really good engines, and now Mini are getting those engines and those third generation electronics and computers, and what a difference it's made. This is a car definitely worth considering. You really should, and gets Luke Ride's thumbs up as a wicked car, and yet a small car. And in Britain, a small car can get you to places where big cars can't. So well done, Mini. And it's a beautiful car to look at, beautiful car to own. You should consider this. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. It's amazing to think how far how far Mini have come. And it's all thanks to Mini using third generation BMW engines, third generation BMW auto boxes, their computer systems. You're getting the best of Britishness with the best of BMW, the best of German, all in one. And you can pick different colours and different colour combinations. The leather's wonderful. So it does so many things really well. You can't fault it. I cannot find a negative. I cannot find a negative. And Luke Wright isn't being biased. That's the honest truth. If there was a problem, Luke Wright to tell you about it. The only nitpick is going to be the fact that when on the cruise control, when you hit the plus sign to increase your speed, that it's quite easy to push the button even further, and then the Mini thinks you want to continuously increase your speed. Oh, and the sound system. Apart from that, one, there probably is an upgrade for the sound system, and your cruise control, you just get used to it. There's nothing else you can fault. It's good.
The little rascal has spirit. As water.
This is the end of the trail for me.
Thank you.
Thank you, kid.
Thanks for watching. Coffee.